It is episode 27 of the Wedding Help NI podcast. My name is Dale Thomas, and my lovely guest today is the one and only Jenna from Jenuine Moments.
Yes, that's the one. Hello, how are we?
Not too bad. Content creation.
Yes.
That is the one. It's a big one at the minute. So
it is. It's up in the coming, isn't it?
It really is. It really is. Take us right back. Take us right back, Jenna. So before you were even doing content creation, you had lots of wee jobs, didn't you?
Yeah.
And I suppose you're still working as well.
Yes, so I'm still in a job at the minute. So I work in the Crumlin Road Jail in Belfast. So I work within hospitality. And I used to actually do that every weekend while I worked in the nursery. So I worked in a nursery for 3.5 years, and I absolutely loved the nursery because the kids were an absolute gig. So, but then I went full-time in the hospitality because of hours and things like that and stuff. And then, I fell into wedding content creation because of parents from the nursery who I knew of, who are on Wedding Help NI. Name drop, Mark Barnes and Danielle. So I looked after their wee girl in the nursery, and I felt awful because she was stuck to me, and I knew I was leaving, and I was like, oh, I feel awful. I'm going to have to tell these guys I'm leaving, and she's just being friendly with me. And I stayed in touch with them because I wanted to see some photos of the wee one. I was like, oh, it's nice to see. And then Danielle reached out and says, you do content yourself, like would you never do it for weddings? And like anybody else, I was like, I didn't even know that was a thing. And then I went to a few weddings with Mark and enjoyed it, and then it just blew up from there.
And I suppose that is a thing, like you've just haven't sort of stumbled into this. You did do your own wee content, and I suppose you're very much into that sort of social media world. And it's a different world because like even we were chatting before we came on the podcast, you're into it and you enjoy it as such. So you really delve into it, and it's something you enjoy.
I love to show like the real, authentic, genuine me, if you must. I like to show wee silly things. I know people have like certain niches, and obviously now I've found my niche because it is weddings. But I still did wee things for myself, and like eating like a Krispy Kreme, or like doing like a viral dance or things like that and stuff. And I was always quite shy about going to post it. But then that's the thing with social media, is you have to have that kind of hard exterior and interior as well, where you need to know that there is going to be people out there who's going to troll.
That is a thing on worry social media. Much about it, I suppose, And then I don't know, something twigged in me, and I thought I want to do it for me because I like doing it. People want to comment, that's on them. So how long is Jenuine Moments as such? How long has that been?
So I would say September, October, November. I did one wedding per month with Mark to kind of see if I liked doing it. And then around like the November, December time, I then came up with Jenuine Moments.
That was a great opportunity, wasn't it?
Yeah, really, really great.
I suppose it gave you something that you could see if it was.
So thankful for them. And they are also the ones that put me in towards Wedding Help NI, which has got me my jobs and got me to meet all these people. So,
do you know what? Anybody like funny, anybody chat there about Mark, as a photographer, everybody, there's always a good word to be said. But there really is, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
100%.
So really, it's quite new then. Like, really, you're less than a year, is that?
Yeah, so you might as well say December, so 6 months, roughly about 6 months.
And how have you found it, like the wedding market, and how have you found that?
I've really enjoyed it. Now, I'm not married or anything myself, but I love, and I love going to a wedding. So I was like, oh, what would it be like if you were working at a wedding? You're getting to see all these wee dresses, the colour of the bridesmaids and all this kind of stuff. So I've really, really enjoyed it, and thank goodness, because hopefully, fingers crossed, by the end of this year I should hopefully full time at it then, which is the goal.
What can they expect, whenever they book a wedding content creator, what sort of footage are you getting? I suppose we know it's sort of shot, it's more like sort of iPhones and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Or camera phones and stuff. Go through the process of what a bride can expect,
So most people, whenever they inquire with me, I will always let them know, like, you'll get what you see, you get your edited videos, it's just married or first look with dad, so you always have to have those ideas in your head. But for me, it's always captured on a type of phone. Doesn't always have to be iPhone. It seems to be the phone that everyone goes for because it's the best quality camera. But I also like to have a wee backup camera because your phone storage can't hold that long as a professional camera. So I need to go and then charge that. So then I'll go to an Osmo Pocket 3 and I'll use it, and I'll differ in between the two. But the bride and the groom, they'll always get within a 24 to 48 hours, they'll get a sneak peek preview of an edited version that I have made for them. But they'll also get all the raw stuff as well. So I do try and take some wee images here and there. I just think it's nice to have a wee bit of a mix.
Of course.
But they'll have the raw videos as well. Now, I tend to kind of mute all the videos because I don't want them to hear my horrendous Millie voice saying, "Oh my God, you look gorgeous." So I'm like, mute that. But then that means they can use that in whatever song they want to use over the top of that, and they can do with that as they wish. And then the rest of the edited stuff comes with over the next couple of weeks. Just because of working full time, I just genuinely don't have the time. Need to stop saying that, like, don't not genuinely. I just don't have the time because I'm not in an office-based job to sit and edit. So as long as I get the 24 to 48 hour stuff out to them, it's something there for them to look back on within so many hours, which is lovely. They all seem to appreciate it.
As content, as content creation, is it something, do you think, that's more for social? Like we talked about this, it is a bit more social media, but it all can also be personal. But I think there's a market for everybody. Like I think there's a market for a photographer, there's a market for a videographer, and there's a market for a content creator. And I think even in the wedding day, you can have all three.
100%.
It's not.
I think that seems to be a thing where people are like, but content creating is video, so why would I do a videographer? But it is actually quite good to have all three.
No, I'm not saying that you can budget and you might not have a videographer, you might have content, but it's definitely not something that's one over the other.
No.
And I think that it's so important to get across that as well. That
there's no competition. It's, I think what you'd said before as well on a podcast, it's documentary style would be your videography, where it's a wee bit more private. If we want to put it on social media, they can. Why mine is pretty much social media based. However, if you don't want it on social media, you clarify that with me and I won't use it on social media.
You're getting them nice reels, you're getting them things, I suppose. Do you know our way, I suppose, of putting it as well? I think a wedding video is something that the couple can watch together or watch with their family. Wedding content creation, I suppose, is something you can share with the world. If that makes...
And that's actually becoming a wee bit of a trend too now, where, like, I've seen on TikTok and stuff, couples will gather, like, their family, and they'll set their phone down and record their reaction of the videographer's video. And that's something that's quite nice, and that's building the two in.
Brilliant.
So if you're thinking you want a real reaction, then hire a content creator. So when your videographer's doing a video, he might have to step out of the way and you've had a nice wee laugh and I'll have that in the background. So it's getting that reaction, which is beautiful, So yeah.
And I suppose even on the day as well, you're getting different things that you're always catching different things because even a videographer, to put up like big cameras and get themselves ready and stuff.
They have to prepare.
There's a bit of prep. They have to make sure the lighting's correct. They have to make sure everything's in place in order to capture that right. Whereas yourself, you can be straight on. You know what I mean? And catch it. Catch that quick moment as such,
Which you do get, like, especially whenever it's wee funny moments of, like, say, like, one of the kids are, doing the tongue and you're like, oh, that's cute. You get wee things like that. Or a lovely laughing moment. So there's loads of different things. But yeah, it is getting the proper moment rather than it being set up, which is why I do follow a videographer and photographer. I'm not directional. I want to be behind those scenes. To show you what the setup was like.
Catch them moments.
Yeah, definitely.
In terms of packages and different, time scales in the day, do you offer different sort of things?
So I offer two different packages. One's called Euphoria Love and one's called Lasting Love. So your Euphoria Love is your morning prep right up to the entrance of your dinner. But sometimes that can be altered. So quite recently I did one where she was like, I don't want morning prep. And I said, that's fine. If you don't want morning prep, we'll do ceremony to dancing. So that can kind of be altered time-wise, depending on what you would prefer. And then your lasting love is your all day. So your morning prep.
I suppose as well, for the euphoria as well, I think even the latter part of the day, it probably is nice because, at times as well, the photographer, maybe they're away home and stuff, and the videographer, maybe the first dance. But you could maybe catch, that sort of, the part where you're getting the ties in the head and the, it's coming
the leaning back. And, sometimes if they fail or, but again, I'll always check with the bride. Do you want that actually on social media?
But it's coming that part of the day and it's a bit different. It's a bit out there.
So she liked that because she was like, she wanted that intimate moment with her and her girls. She didn't want anything around her. She wanted just to enjoy getting your makeup, getting your hair done, enjoying a wee bit of banter, a wee bit of crack. And she'll know she'll have that forever. It was more from a ceremony because it was about her and him.
Aye.
So that's why that was then altered that way, which is great. And then your lasting love, as I say, is your full day, which most people tend to go for because they do want captured moments of all day. Yeah. Rather than just certain points. But yeah, that's the 2 packages that I do.
And what are sort of on the day? What can they expect? I suppose from you as well on the day. So you're saying you're really on a long way photographer and stuff. Yeah. You'll take the lead from there as well.
I kind of try and so I use Studio Ninja to get to know my couples and go through the emails and stuff, and I send a questionnaire out to who's going to be there on the day in advance. So we've got a hypnotist, we've got this DJ, and we've got this. And what I do try and tend to do is reach out to those suppliers to say, look, I'm going to be there in the day, but don't worry, I'm not going to be in your way, and things like that. Yeah. And I think it's nice to then let the supplier know who I am, and things like that too. So I tend to reach out with them, and then with the bride or the groom, I always ask, is there something in particular you're looking for? Is there anything you would want me to do? If not, then I'll pretty much be in the background, just pretty much ignore me, act as if I'm just a random stranger that's taking nice wee content for you. And a recent wedding I did, she actually says to me at the end, she was like, do you know I actually forgot you were here today? And it sounds like it's not a good thing.
No, but it can be.
But it really was.
You want to be blended on too, don't you? Like,
it was lovely to hear, like, oh, she forgot that I was there, which then meant I did get those real moments for her, and she was delighted with it, so it was lovely.
And what would your tips and stuff be there? What would your tips be for
me, I would like, as much as obviously you're there to do a job, you're there to get as much content, as much images, as much footage and stuff, but also be the real you, because I find that the more crack I have with them and be along with everything, they enjoy that more. And I think that's why she was like, I forgot you were here, because she was like, I feel like I've known you for a long time, because you're having a bit of crack, you're having a bit of banter. And I also say, look, if there's anything you need here, don't me pop the shop, sure, I'll get us a Red Bull, I'll get us a Red Bull, you know.
I suppose that's a different thing as well, you know, like, you know, be yourself, have that bit of crack, whereas I'm not being funny, like if you have a photographer there, you're there to get your candid shots, you're there to get your, you know, whereas you want
intimate,
it's nerve-wracking. Whereas you want to catch that more, you know, nearly where you're taking them candid shots, you're going, God, is that done now? You're catching that, like, you know what I mean? You know,
it's the popping of the champagne, and I can't get this, and it's quite funny because obviously the videographer, the photographer's waiting for the actual moment. Exactly. While I'm getting the before moment where it was dead funny. It's flip me. Have you not been to the gym? And it's laughing.
There's something exciting
those
about
kind
it.
of moments is what I live for.
There's something funny about it, isn't there?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So what would be the differences there in videography and content creation? What would be the big differences?
It's definitely something that always tends to come up on Wedding Help NI, isn't it? It's always
it's one of the questions. It's always, and brides always ask it, I suppose, as well. You know, so it's something. Sorry,
I actually hate this question. Sometimes I'm just.
Oh, you're okay. You're okay.
It really actually gets on my tits that this gets asked all the time. Just give me 2 wee seconds because 2 wee seconds.
Is she okay?
Back.
You're
it's
back.
All a joke.
You're back.
It was a prank.
I didn't know it was a joke, or I didn't know it was a prank.
I thought we'll have to make good content if we're talking about content creation.
And that's what it's all about, isn't it?
Wasn't I getting your real reaction?
You did. You got my real reaction.
Real genuine reaction, you say.
So tell us, where are we going now? What would you like to see in the future with your content creation?
As I say, like, my niche is going to be weddings. Like, we were talking about TikTok and stuff, and you always have to find your niche, and you were saying about yours, like yours is your hypnotist and stuff. So my niche is obviously going to be wedding. But with that, I want to also put myself out there, because brides and grooms look at your work, but they don't know who's actually behind the camera. And I think it's very important to know who that person is. I think it's a big part of it, because with any wedding vendor, you want to buy into your wedding vendor. You know, you need a connection, and I think even whenever I'm doing the podcast, I say to everybody, bring your real self, because you know what, you can go on their website, you can read, you know, if I want to know about Jenuine Moments, I can go on and I can read in your Instagram and find out exactly what I need to know about your business. Wedding couples want to buy into you, they want to buy into your personality. Yeah. That, you know,
we had Jenna as part of our day.
And you do have to, as you say, you do have to have that connection. And with that, what I do then tend to do is when someone inquires, of course, they'll get their automated email from me with prices and packages. But then I also like to connect with social media through with them, and I'll either send them a video note or a voice note because that shows my personality.
Aye.
And I might just be sitting there in my pre-marked jammies and my hair scraped up, but I'll show them, well, what's the crack? Yes, here, I've sent you out my email, love. So there's still that part of professionalism, but also the personality will come through.
Yeah.
And if I'm not for them, I'm not for them. That's fine. You're not going to be.
And do you know what? Like there is vendors for you, there's vendors not for you, and it's just finding that person that's right for you in the wedding.
And the personality is something I really truly believe in. You connect with people through their personality.
Yeah,
so
of course.
Why not show it? And if you don't like it, you don't like it. If you do, great, we'll get on great. And as I said to you, like most of my couples previously have always said, I forgot you were even here and you were such good crack and things like that. And that's what I love, that I can give them that, but also give them the professionalism of their videos and things like that. So yeah. Any
other tips or any other advice for brides?
A lot of, I would find...
Couples, I should say.
Couples, yeah. A lot of what I would find is it's always quite shy. They always feel very shy, even if they're not a shy person. They still have that bit of shyness because it's like, oh, it's a phone in the face. I must look away. I just want to let them all know, ignore it. I know sometimes it's hard to ignore things when they're in front of you, especially when you have the photographer with the big professional camera and then you've got a videographer and then this wee one just holding the phone. It's a bit like, I don't know where to look. Just be yourself. And there are the moments that I'm going to capture, and that's the moment you're going to look back on.
Don't worry about too much.
Don't worry about it too much. Just enjoy your day. Forget that I am there. I want people actually to forget that I was there. Yeah. Because then at the end of the day, I'll go up to them and be like, look, that's me all done. They'll go, I forgot you were here. Do you know what? You've done amazing. I can't wait to see the stuff and things like that.
The footage is going to be so much better.
Yeah, exactly. So just enjoy your day. Forget who your suppliers are, as in just enjoy whatever it is. Because I'm not directional, I'm not going to be telling you what to do. Yeah. But if there's something specific you want, then of course just ask me and we can certainly do it. So yeah.
Where can people find you online? Where's all your...
So mainly all of my brides and grooms and couples are all through Wedding Help NI. It's definitely one of the best platforms that I've known to date. I've seen other ones and this one just is a top notch. With Studio Ninja, it lets me know where all my couples have found me from. So it'll say like Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, word of mouth. And I think like 80% of it was Wedding Help NI and the rest just said Facebook, which is the Wedding Help NI group. So my social media is Jenuine Moments NI, and that's the same for all TikTok, Facebook and Instagram. But the main platform would be Wedding Help NI, the best platform, of course.
There you go.
So yes, that's it there. So yeah.
Anything else you want to talk on, or do you think we've got
I don't think so. Hopefully when the podcast goes out, we'll maybe have some questions and people can certainly give me a wee message and I'll answer any questions, even if it is to do with content creating and videography.
And what's the differences?
What's the difference? You like can't be off me again.
Don't be storming out me.
Damn it. So yeah, I'm always open to anything at all. I've even said the past couples before, if there's anything you want to know that's not even about content creation, I'm happy to give some advice as best I can. But yeah, that's pretty much me, I think. So hopefully it was all good.
There we go. That has been Jenna from Jenuine Moments Content Creation. That is episode 27 of our podcast. Hope you enjoyed it and bye for now.
Thank you. Woo!